No, listen, I know that you mean me and you, and I get that part.
Yes.
But like us dating, right?
Yes, seriously.
Okay, yeah,
You good with that, or?
I'm great with that.
Okay. All right, yeah, okay.
I'm in.
Okay, well, I know the Destin fans were just yelling and screaming and happy as a lot tonight because Danni and Preston have agreed to make things official between them. Pretty much, see how things will work. Let's give it another chance. Initially, Preston was like, hey, let me stay for a couple days more just to make sure that guy isn't going to come back. And, heck, I could stay a bit longer if you want me to. And that led to Danni just saying, you know what, fine, let's give you and me a try and see what happens. So I guess aside from Zach and Fatima, we now officially have a couple on the show. And this is great, but at the same time, you know how I feel about Danni and Preston for the past few seasons. I'm just not that big a fan of these two as a couple. And the one thing that really had me going, I can't believe we're going down this route, was when Danny's like, well, we can give it a try, so as long as you've learned your lesson, and it's about boundaries and whatnot. And I'm just sitting up here like, lesson? What about all the strays that Danni had running up and down her apartment? Logan, they never had sex, but you had Logan over there, you had El Fuego, you had that bartender, you had Jonah, who then ended up coming back trying to kill your ass, then you had Q. And I'm just sitting here like, Danni, let's talk about the lessons you need to learn. Yet it's all about Preston and what he did wrong. Matter of fact, I'm just sitting here like, why the hell was Mindy even written into the series? Okay, Mindy as a character is not the issue necessarily. It's the fact that Preston went so far as to propose and get engaged to this woman. Now, apparently she was just written off in the off-screen land. Oh, I'm going to drop her off at the hotel and come stay with you, Danni. And then it's like, oh, well, I sent her back home to Texas. But the bigger question is, was the engagement ever called off? I don't recall Preston ever confirming me and Mindy are no longer engaged. I just recall saying, oh, she's at the hotel. Oh, she's on her way back home. But I never once heard I got the ring back. Me and her call things off. So for all we know, these two are still engaged and Mindy's just going back to Texas to wait on Preston to sort things out. And I do not like that at all. Like I said, maybe I missed something. Maybe there was a line or a scene that just so happened to escape me. And I didn't, pay attention and notice that, oh, well, the engagement is off. Because don't get me wrong, these two interacting in the episode tonight, it reminded me of why fans loved them in season 1 and especially in season 2 before Danni started acting funny. Like, oh, well, I just don't like you being around all the time, even though you're the one who invited him to stay with you, despite him being, you know what, I can just find my own place to stay, it's no big deal. Now, on top of that, I did love when Preston was like, oh, the hell what I made for dinner. We're going out. Let's dress up and go out for dinner. It was a cute scene. It really was. But like I said, I feel like we're just going to forget about everything these two have went through seasons, 3, 4, and 5. Danni and Preston back together. There we go. But we know from character bios from the back half of season 6 as well as season 7, Danny's going to have another love interest. So Preston might not be around too much longer. He might wind up going back to Texas to be with Mindy for all we know. But I will say this much. I like Preston as a character. I just don't like what Tyler did with the character over the past couple seasons. The moment he told Danni, I have a sweetheart back at home, I was like, no, why you got to do Preston like that? I mean, it was bad enough he was simping for Danni, but now you make him look worse with having a old reliable back at home in case things with Danni didn't work out too well. You know, hints like the Jennifer and Aaron situation. Oh, well, Karen's still chasing after Zach, so I got this side piece, you know, to keep me occupied while she makes up her mind. I mean, we have Preston taking advice from Zach, going out with other women to allegedly make Danni jealous, but all of a sudden, everything's okay now. So it almost feels like we rushed what could have been great potential development between Danni and Preston, with the main thing, just like with Zach and Fatima, being in agreement to work on their communication. We're just going to skip all that and go, well, the fans wanted these two back together. They're back together. So, on the one hand, Destin fans, I'm glad y'all are happy. But as a fan of the series as a whole, and someone who wants more compelling storytelling with the characters and growth and development, I got to give this a thumbs down. But I will say one thing. If I were Danni, I would not have I would have not have bothered going over to Karen's place, because Andy called Sabrina. No context, basically. Hey, go over to Karen's place. I'm heading over there now. Make sure you call Danni. I mean, if I were Danni, it's like, look, I just had a long day at work. I'm tired. I just, took off my jacket, kicked my heels off. I smell some dinner cooking. I got a man shirtless standing over the stove. We're agreeing to, go out together. And now we're dressed up and we're going out officially to a restaurant instead of just staying at home. I ain't got no time. Oh, look, is Karen okay? She's okay? Then I ain't got time to deal with no damn drama. Me and my man are going out. Not to mention, 24 hours ago, we were called to the salon and we all thought Karen was dead. And after that emotional outburst, I need me a good night. And I was going to have a good night until you called me over here for this foolishness. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Danni and Preston. Making it official. Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Also, yeah, if Preston never proposed, I would have liked this moment a bit more, because it's like you go from simping to seeing other people to mentioning how you have a girl back home. Then you get engaged to this girl after Danni rejects your proposal, which came out of nowhere. And now we're official and we're going to go out to dinner. So, yeah, kind of awkward. But regardless, let's talk about it in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.